Markos, what do you think? Is it going to be more about turning out the African-American vote, the minority vote, or winning back those Trump Shriers, those people who voted for Obama in Michigan, Wisconsin, and Minnesota, et cetera, Pennsylvania, and then went to Donald Trump?
Yeah, I've always been all about maximizing turnout with core Democratic constituencies. So many of us don't vote. People of color, young voters, single women. These core Democratic constituencies are some of the lowest performing voters. So if we turn out and vote, amazing things happen. We almost won Texas last year because those constituencies were turning out. We won big because we had a field of candidates that looked like our party. People were excited about them, and it gave them a reason to get really motivated, engaged, and active, working hard to elect Democrats. I think that's what this field does. I think definitely is what Kamala Harris does. And I can't imagine a ticket, a presidential ticket, heading into next year's November that doesn't include Kamala Harris either at the top or in the VP slot, because I think she's incredibly dynamic and really represents the future of the party.
What about consistency? Message consistency in the field so far. When you look at Harris, Gillibrand, Biden, there's a lack of message consistency. There were past policy positions that were not so progressive. Harris is a prosecutor, Gillibrand, formerly an immigration hawk. Biden, a lot of stuff, the crime bill, Wall Street, Iraq, Anita Hill. But when you look at someone like Elizabeth Warren, even Bernie Sanders, they've had policy consistency now for decades. How much is that going to matter? Markos.
Oh, I mean, it helps. There's just no doubt it helps that somebody who is proven to have been there from the beginning. I don't think it's the end-all be-all, to be honest. And ultimately, the country has moved in leftward in the last 10 years, for sure. I mean, remember, it wasn't too long ago that civil unions was considered to be too crazy for the American people. And so we've come a long way, and if candidates evolve along the way, that's okay. Now, I think Elizabeth Warren can lay claim to being one of the most consistent candidates, and I think it's one of the reasons she is going to do very well. I think Kamala Harris has been generally consistent, and again, you can poke at the edges, but I don't think it's going to matter in the end. I think people want to get excited about some of these new personalities, these new candidates, and they're going to get excited for a bunch of these. And it's going to be mostly the female and the people of color in the field. I mean, if you're a white male, you're running this year, you're really not reading the room correctly.
So is the idea that